Hi book besties and happy Sunday. Welcome to this recommendation video. I have more than 20 books that give off fall, autumn, cozy vibes. A lot that I've read before and some that are on my TBR as well, so I hope that you find some cozy books to read this fall. Let's get into it. Oh boy. Okay, so fun fact, fall actually used to be my least favorite holiday. Now it's like up there, at least where I live at, because it's so hot in the summer. Like summer used to be my favorite, but not so hot. I'm like, girl. Oops. I'm trying to be inside. Fall, I love to be outside. I love sweater weather. Pumpkins. I just love pumpkin stuff in general. I love me a good pumpkin. Love me a good pumpkin. Okay, so the first series I want to recommend, if you've been watching my videos from a while, this is no surprise. It is Aisling, Breath of the New Creature. There's 2 out of 3 books out. Book 3 is currently being written as we speak. First of all, when I think of fall, I think of fantasy, so a lot of these are fantasy books. When I think of this series, I always describe it as whimsical and mystical. It just ropes you in and you feel like you are in the story. It's about a girl named Aisling. She is the daughter of the Fire Hand. He is like the king over the humans, and he has her be married to the Fae King. All her life, she's heard that Fae are horrible people and just like terrible to humans. So whenever she marries Lear, whenever she sees Lear and marries him, and she's like, whoa, first of all, he's handsome, he doesn't look very scary, and second of all, he is so gentle and kind. I am very surprised by this, and she realized that everything she's ever learned has just been a huge lie. It's basically her journey of getting to know her husband, going against her father. It's just such a beautiful story, and I can't wait for book 3. Like, I want to know the conclusion, but also like take your time. A.E. Jurgens, a great author to support. Alright, next is the Folk of the Air series by Holly Black, another one that should not be a surprise. This is about Jude Duarte. She's a human living in Fairy. Her stepdad, Matic, he actually killed her mother and her father, like her human parents, because her mom cheated on him with her dad. She is fully human. Her twin sister Taryn, fully human. Her older sister Vivian is actually part Fae, so she is part Fae, part human, but he kills the parents and takes all 3 kids. He said, you're all coming with me, actually. And in Fairy, humans are not respected at all. She is constantly bullied, especially by a boy named Carden. Jude is tired of it. She's like, I will make a name in this place, no matter how I do it. So she is trying to become a knight, and during that process, things get a little messy. This is heavy fantasy. There is a romance subplot, but the fantasy is what it's about. And the biggest relationship in this book is between Jude and Matic. The most important one. I think this story is amazing. So this one is Lightlark by Alex Astor. I don't care, like, this book has a bad rap, but I love this book so much. I devoured it. Grimm, I think, is the perfect love interest. He's morally gray for sure. Like, so spot on. But it's about Isla. She has no powers. She's never had powers, and she's about to compete in a competition on the island of Lightlark. It appears every 100 years, and people from the different realms, they compete for the winning spot. All these people have powers except her, so she's like, how am I going to pretend I have powers? How am I going to get through this competition having no powers at all? But she does. She makes her way through, and there's 2 different love interests, Grimm and Oro. Oro, I actually thought that it was going to be revealed that he was her dad. That's how much I was like, he's the love interest. There was no chemistry whatsoever. Team Grimm, Team Grimm, Team Grimm. Okay, thank you. Night Bane by Alex Astor. I have not read this yet. It's been on my TBR for a while. I'm just like, Team Grimm, people have not been super loud after reading this book, so I'm like, I'm scared. Because when I tell you, I'm so adamant. When it comes to love triangles, there's always a clear one. Like, always a clear one. I feel like that's the problem. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. I think it's just supposed to be like conflicting, but me personally, I always have one that I like more, and it is Grimm. And if she picks Oro in this book, literally she's gonna be like, really? But there's a 3rd book, so if she picks Oro in this book, she would have to pick Grimm in the 3rd, right? That's not even the point of the story. I would say for that one, I feel like the romance is like 50-50. I mean, I know it's a fantasy book, not fantasy romance, but I feel like it's pretty even, maybe 40-60. Now we have Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I actually was buddy reading this with my friend Kylie. I finished it, but I don't remember anything about it, so I'm gonna reread it because I couldn't tell you what this is about. I mean, I know it's about a girl who like feels death, like death has followed her around, like death is a person in this book, and he's kind of like always followed her around, and she has to make an alliance with him, like make a truce with him, but that's really all I remember. It's a paranormal romance. I do remember reading this and thinking like, oh yeah, that's like very much fall, very much October. Okay. Now we have Secrets of Asoria by Christina Macari. I love this book so much. It is about a girl. Her name is Orion. She finds out that she has powers when she's 16 years old. Her mom has sent her away, and her mom is MIA. She just said, forget you, gone, bye. Her mom's MIA, so okay, sorry, let me slow down. So her mom is working away in a different country, so she sends her to live with like a close family friend and his nephew. So that's where she goes. Very shortly after this, she realizes that she has powers and she'll be sent to a magic school where she learns how to regulate these powers, still while hearing nothing from her mom. So she's navigating this new life. Her mom is not answering her at all. She just sent her away and then just refuses to answer her. She's around a bunch of people she doesn't know. She's getting bullied. She is trying to fit into this new school. It's just a lot is going on. If you like Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think you'll like this book. I feel like it has a lot of those vibes. I've heard it compared to Harry Potter as well, but I've never read or seen Harry Potter, so I don't know. But if you like Harry Potter, check it out. I think this is such a good YA fantasy book, and it is her debut novel, so I'm like, wow, amazing. You know I have to have some thrillers in here, and first is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Don't care. I know this book is like 50-50. People will love it or hate it. I happen to have loved it. Like, it reignited my love for thrillers. Like, I read Rock, Paper, Scissors. That started my love for it. Then I read a lot of not so great thrillers, and I came back to this one, and it brought my love back for it. So I just think it's great. I didn't expect anything that happened. Frida just can reel you into a book. She knows how to make you stay. Like, she knows how to get you interested, and this plot twist was so good. I didn't see it coming. I don't care. I didn't. It's about a girl. She's a felon. Whenever she was younger, she killed someone on accident. He did something very horrible to her best friend, so she ended up killing him, and so she had to spend time in prison. Now she's out of prison. She's trying to get a job, but nobody wants to hire her because she's a felon. She ends up getting a job as a housemaid for a family that's a little bit strange. The wife is very high-strung, kind of tired all the time, kind of just a little insane. The daughter is creepy looking, and the dad like pretends to be as normal as can be. She's like, this family is super weird, and she realizes that, hey, this wife has a nice house, a great husband, these expensive clothes. I don't just want to be their maid. I want to be the wife. So she starts wearing her clothes and basically just wants to take the wife's place, and she does. And, well, A Tale as Old as Time. Check it out. That's Not My Name by Megan Lawley. This is a story about a girl that goes missing. Her name is Lola. Drew, her boyfriend, is looking for her, but the biggest part of the story that Drew has left out is that they actually broke up before she stormed off the night she went missing, because he thinks everyone will point fingers at him, point eyes at him, like, you definitely did this. The last person she was with was you. People are already looking at him sideways anyways, but he's like, if they find out that we were fighting and arguing and broke up, like, they're going to come for me. So him and her friends, they try to find her. When they think they finally located her, something crazy happens. It's kind of like a road trip type book where a lot, like, they're on the road a lot, trying to figure out where she is and what's happened, trying to find clues, because the adults, the police are not doing enough, but they're like, we're gonna get to the bottom of this if nobody else is. So now for my TBR, we have The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I've heard that this is just a very fun, like, whimsical ride. A book that doesn't really have a plot, more so just vibes. So I don't think I've ever read a book like that, so I'm kind of interested. Erin Morgenstern, I've heard great things about her work, so I think I like it. I don't know though. If you read this book in the comments, let me know. Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. This book is getting so hype on Book Talk right now. All I heard was that it has dragons, and that's all I needed to know. Dragons and a knife to throat scene. Yes, sign me up. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna love it. What a Match by Mimi Grace. Do I need to show you anything but the cover to say why this is a fall recommendation? You get it, don't you? This is a romance novel. This is part of a series. I believe there's 4 books in the series. Of course, a classic is here. Anne of Green Gables. This is one of my favorite stories ever. But I haven't reread it for a really long time, so it's about that time. It is about that time. Anne of Green Gables is just a breath of fresh air. It's the best way I could describe it. Lore of the Wilds by Annalise Sabrana. I don't know. I keep putting off reading this book. I keep putting it off, but it's a love triangle. I actually don't love triangles. Like, I do, but I don't. Like, I love it because there's one clear character that needs to be the love interest, and somehow I'm always wrong. I don't know if I've ever said that, but I'm always wrong about who the girl needs to be with. I'm never right. I don't think I've ever read a love triangle where it's a guy picking between 2 girls. Also, fun fact. Ella Mayu, she is trapped in a forest village, and to leave, it is just a huge, like, it's hard to do, so she has to make a deal with the Fae Lord to be able to escape, and her process of, like, getting out of this forest. Also, this was sent to me, and it came with this awesome bookmark, so thank you so much. A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. This is a dark academia aquatic book, very niche, very specific. Ava Reed's writing style is very beautiful. I just don't think there's, like, another author out there that writes like her. Okay, I'm super excited for this one. It's Starling House by Alex E. Harrow, another dark academia book. If you don't know what dark academia book, it means it takes place in, like, a school setting, and the vibe's a little eerie, creepy type thing. This one I'm going into completely blind, but I've heard amazing reviews about it, and I also have a special edition of it, so I hope it's as good as it looks. Gallant by V.E. Schwab, another one where I've heard no plot, just vibes. Olivia's always wondered where she's from, but she finally finds a journal that her mom gave her, and in the journal, her mom's like, by the way, there's one place you should never go, so where does Olivia go? To the exact place her mom said do not go, and it's like a quest, like her journey of I always say her, like the journey of, but that's what it is. It's the journey of what they do, like what happens on the way there, what they do when they got there. So yeah, I have never read a V.E. Schwab book, but I have about 7 of them, so I need to get on that immediately, actually. Gotta put a sad book in there. If he had been with me, I pretty much know how this ends, given the title. Haven't read a sad book in a minute, but I'm gonna give it a try. I need a good autumn cry. Look at me, a little poet. Don't come for me when I say I haven't read this book yet or seen the movie, but Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I've never, like I said, never read the movie. You know what I'm trying to say. I don't know what it's about. Like, I have not a singular clue. I'm just gonna go to it blind. I've gone this long without knowing what it's about, so might as well keep up the trend. A Holly Black book I have not read, The Darkest Part of the Forest. I know I'm gonna love it because it was written by Holly Black. Girl math. Anyways, it's about Hazel and her brother Ben. They live in Fairlord where humans and fae coexist, and they have always heard stories about like the boy in the glass coffin, a kid that's never gonna wake up, and then one day he does. It's also set in the same world as the Folk of the Air series, so I'm really hyped for this one because I love the Folk of the Air. If you didn't know, if you could not tell, I love the Folk of the Air. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. It takes place in 1939 in Nazi Germany. Enough said. I have had this on my TBR for super long, and it is about that time that I read it. I wouldn't say this is like fall, autumn vibes. I just want to read this book soon. Stay tuned for more videos from me. Okay, what are you doing? Click off this video and go read your book. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not. Go read your book. Bye, guys.